Creators,
we need to encourage small businesses and cooperatives. We need to bring manufacturing back to Britain. We need to bring food production back to Britain. But the people who start a market garden down the road, the person who starts a new little grocery shop on the corner, they're not talking about a tax rate of earning more than £150,000 a year.
No, but they are worried about things like employers' national insurance. They're worried about rates of corporation tax. Of course,
but they're worried about customers being able to afford it forward, and they're worried about being able to compete with multinational companies which don't pay their taxes, which pay their staff the minimum wage, which use 0 hours contracts, and which have the government has put a playing field where multinational companies can come in and take over and bulldoze out small business. And we have to restore the opportunities for small businesses and cooperatives, bring manufacturing back to Britain, bring food production back to Britain, and that needs a more equal society. We're a horribly unequal society.
When Greens talk about equality, what they're really talking about is making everyone poorer, pulling down living standards for everyone, and I certainly do not want that kind of equality.
What we're talking about is prosperity, improving the prosperity for everybody. Yeah, and that means that we have to live, and you're talking about future generations, we've talked a lot, we have to live within the limits of the one planet we have. We cannot exceed those limits. We don't have a spare planet when we've trashed this one to hop over onto the next planet. We have to live within the limits of those planets.
How do we compete with the relatively low-wage economies such as China and India in the global market?
Well, what we've got is the whole global economy is already reshaping. Globalisation has hit the buffers economically and environmentally. Wages are going up enormously in China. The cost of fossil fuels have gone up enormously, so transport has costing much more. So we're already seeing things like manufacturing of clothing is starting to come back to Britain, manufacturing of furniture. There are Chinese furniture companies opening up in the US to sell to the US market because it's not going to be economic to make in China anymore. We have to make sure that we build strong local economies.
Is there?
There's strong local economies in Britain. We need to have market gardens around our towns and cities that supply lots of our food coming in closely, and we can do all of that and live a prosperous life. The sort of things that mean more prosperous life, a better life, might be lower working hours for everybody. That means that you would have a much better life. No one lies on their deathbed and says, I wish I'd spent more hours in the office.
Yes.